Welcome back, Stasa23 here, back again with some knife therapy. And before I get started, if you like this video, please drop a thumbs up on it. It helps out the channel a whole bunch. If not, thumbs down works as well. And if you like knife content and you're not already, smash that subscribe button for me. Thank you. And today we have one of my first Gold Class knives, and there's a box you get. It's the 601-211 Tengu flipper. You also get this certificate. You can pause and read if you want to check that out. And you get the same bag, except you get it in gold right there. So just a little bit extra. Also, you get this nice shark skin leather slip with the nice Benchmade blue stitching. You got the Benchmade logo there. And you got the proudly made in the USA there. This is a collaboration with custom knife maker Jared Ozer. He is pretty much known for a lot of awesome slip joints and traditional style knives. So you can really see that in the Tengu flipper. This knife comes in at $555. Yes, very, very premium price. And they're pretty much known for that in their Gold Class lineup. Usually a lot more than $550. So let's get some specs out of the way so you can get an idea of how big this knife is or how small. You got a total length of 6 5/8 inches. You have a blade length of 2.77 inches, so it's going to be legal in a lot of areas as long as you can have that locking blade. You have a grip area from right here to the back right here of 3 inches, so not a whole lot of grip area. Close it up, you got a thickness from here to here, 0.44 inches. So it's nice and slim in this dimension, and the width of 0.89 inches, slim in this dimension as well. And you have a blade stock thickness of 0.12 inches. So it's a pretty hefty stock for how small it is. You have a behind the edge thickness on the straight portion of around 18 thousandths, and it's sharpened at around 20 degrees per side. And this tanto tip, which is pretty thick and robust, all the way up here behind the edge. You can see how far back it goes, but behind the edge is reading 72 thousandths. So nice and thick tip. We're gonna break off into some usage footage. Hope y'all enjoyed that. Y'all let me know what y'all think, and then we will wrap it up at the end. All right, y'all stay tuned. Check the factory edge on the Tengu. Nice and sharp. A little cardboard cutting. Single wall. All right, somebody asked me to cut up an apple with some knives. These apples are rotten, so I figured why not. A little splitting, not bad. There you go. We're gonna cut up a few different things, some rubber tubing, double walled, some bungee cord that's pretty nice size, and some 5/8 sisal rope. Let's see how it does. nicely. Cut nicely, no scratches. Check the sharpness so far from the front area where I've been cutting. Yep. So full cut from the cardboard. Still nice. All right, somebody asked me to do zip ties again. Even though if I were cutting zip ties, I would either use these or these. I'll still do it. Just not the safest thing to cut zip ties with, but let's try straight on with that Tengu. Nice. Let's try this one. Nice. And let's see. Let's see if I can do it with this back part. It's gonna be tough. Not a lot of leverage. Got it. And we got one that's it's a 120 pounder, something like that. Try using that Tengu again. It's just not safe because it slips off of it. Let's see if I can use that tip. See, it's wanting to slip. Let's see, pry it in there. There you go. Good to go. Lockup is, looks like it might be a little later. So yeah, it pushed over a little bit because I was bearing down on it, and it's back to normal. All right, we're gonna try to do some detail work on this leather, some thick saddle leather. And let's see, let's just try to cut, we use that tip. Yeah, see that tip is really thick, and that's as far as I could get it right there. Let's try slicing. Nice, let's try just cutting it. One thing about Tengu, you're using this portion a lot depending on if you're doing these type of cuts, slicing cuts. Alrighty, we're gonna test the ergos on this 2x4 pine. Nothing crazy. Do a little shaving. Still got a good edge. This point right here in the back is digging into my hand because I'm having to hold it back there. But probably not something you normally do, but there we go. Alrighty, I hope y'all enjoyed that usage footage. The blade did not take any kind of damage or anything. I know most people probably won't even use these knives, but I figured I would have the enjoyment to use it a little bit on camera. Let's get some size comparisons out of the way and some competition for this knife, because at $550 you can get you a Shiro, which is a good bit larger, as you can see, and you can also get you a small Sabenza 21 or 31 with the micarta inlays. There you go. And also, you could get one of these real steel Phasma with the their stainless Damascus blade with the Mocha tie for, I think it's 3 something, with the titanium scales there. And one that is probably the best size comparison, if I had to take a guess, would be the Benchmade Proper. You have about the same length. You have more grip area in the proper though, because you don't have that flipper tab getting in the way. Let's take a closer look. Like I said, this is Damasteel, which is stainless Damascus. They said it was Rockwell to 59 to 61. This thing held a good edge. It sliced well. You know, I thought it wasn't gonna slice as well because you got this, you know, flat grind that goes up to about, you know, 3/4 of the blade. You got the thicker stock, but you keep a nice sharp edge on it. It'll get the job done. Some things that I really enjoyed about this knife that I was kind of glad to see Benchmade do, and I don't know, maybe it was Jared Ozer's input, who knows, but we'll talk about those real quick. First of all, your edge bevels are nice and even. You can look down the tip right there. It's pretty much perfectly symmetrical. It's hard to show that. I love how you can see the etch down the spine of the knife. You have a well-executed sharpening choil right here. You can see the Ozer logo right there and their number that this is 1079. I don't know how many they will do. These are an unlimited, I guess, limited supply. Like they will be producing these in the, they will not stop producing these till 2022. For a whole year, they will be producing these. Unlike some of the Gold Class, they'll put them out, and whenever they go, they go. The etch on this it's pretty dark. It's got a satin finish underneath. I kind of like whenever you have the mirror polish underneath because it really makes that etch pop. But I think this fared better in cutting chores without seeing scratches in a mirror polish underneath. So I'm okay with that since I will be using this thing. Another thing that they did really, really well, and like I said, I don't know if this is Jared's input, but notice this detent is perfectly dialed in. I mean, it comes thwacking out no matter what you do. Let's see if I can fail it. I could probably fail it. Let's see. I could, if I do like this, yeah, I could fail it. But I mean, I could fail pretty much any flipper that way. And it has that nice snappy action. But if you listen, let's see if you can even hear it. A very light click there. And how they were able to pull that off is the stainless detent ball is actually flat on the top. So instead of it gradually jumping over the detent hole, it's got a hard break to it, and it causes the knife to fire out. So that's really cool they did that. They also added a detent ball ramp. I don't know if I can show it to you because I think it's behind, it's somewhere down in there. I took this apart. There is a detent ball ramp. Whenever you're disengaging that lock, you do not feel it jumping over that detent ball. I mean, the detent ball jumping over the tang. The flipper tab doesn't have any jimping, but you have a nice flat spot right there that you can put your finger on and do a push button. Or if you wanted to put your finger in front of it, you could do a nice little light switch as well. Close it up. You have this very attractive, in my opinion, this is all subjective, very attractive marble carbon fiber, black and white marble carbon fiber. Very, very nice looking, especially when the light shimmers off of it. You have a blue G10 shield, and I don't know if that's, you know, signature to Jared Ozer or not, but very nicely done. No gaps in there. Looks good. You have blue colored stainless hardware that's domed on the show side, so you don't, you don't see the Torx. Flip it over, and you'll see your Torx heads also have been blued there as well. You have a Torx T8 for the pivot and T6 for all the body and the stop pin. The stop pin is their cylindrical, octagonal, I guess, shape, flat faces on the stop pin. You see how it's shaped in there. You got different facets on there, and basically what they explained back in the day whenever they started doing that is if you start to get some lock rock or you want an earlier lockup, you can turn that cylinder to the next face and it'll help your lockup because that face is sitting out a little bit further. So I don't know, you know, is it a gimmick? Maybe. I don't think I've ever, no, I take that back. On my Seabird mini pocket rocket, I did use that, but that was a titanium frame lock. Close this bad boy up, and you have this very interesting backspacer right there. The backspacer is Raffir Noble Blue Uranium. That's what he calls it. It's got like almost like a copper wire, it looks like, going through it. And this material is glow in the dark. Let me see if I can kind of charge up real quick. Well, my flashlight's out. Y'all just take my word. It does glow in the dark. The blade to handle ratio is pretty much 1-to-1. They got all you can out of that blade. It goes all the way to the end, and the backspacer comes up so it protects your finger in the closed position. And the backspacer goes almost the entire length of the blade, so you're not going to get cut at all with this knife unless you want to. Let's see. Your little shark skin slip works okay. You need to face the flipper tab to this side if you want it to go all the way down. It's a little tight at first, but I'm sure it would loosen up. The only problem is if you go that far with it, sometimes it can be a pain in the butt to get it out, especially when it's still kind of stiff. So let's see. Let's get a weight. The liners on this are blue colored stainless liners. They haven't been skeletonized, but I don't think they need to be. First gram, 74 grams, and ounces, 2.6 ounces. So this thing's a super featherweight. Barely notice it in the pocket. Let's talk about some of my nitpicks, and then we'll wrap it up. First, I would have loved to see a pocket clip, you know, like the pocket clip on the bug out, like a black one right here. I'm probably going to tap this myself. I'm going to use this screw and tap another hole, and I'm probably going to add a pocket clip. I think it would be excellent with that. You don't have a whole lot of space because of the flipper tab. I did feel kind of bunched up like I showed y'all in the video. This corner right here, because I'm all the way at the end of there, whenever I was pushing down on it, dug into my hand. Not something that most people probably will experience because they probably won't be doing that kind of cutting with this knife. Also, I wish they would have used titanium instead of the stainless on all the blue areas, because once that blue comes off, you're kind of stuck with it because you can't re-anodize it unless, I don't know if Benchmade would do that in their Life Sharp service or whatever. I doubt it. I don't think they do cosmetic stuff, but that's just kind of a bummer because that blue will eventually come off. And the last thing, the lock bar access, the lock sits flush with the this side, and you do have some little jimping there. I can get to it, but it's not super comfortable to get my finger in there, especially after a lot of flipping. But overall, I like the knife. Once I add a pocket clip, I think it'll be a winner. This is going to be something, you know, a collectible item for most people. So, you know, if you like the way they looked, I think they did a good job executing certain things, like the grinds were perfectly executed. The etch looks good. The carbon fiber, in my opinion, looks great. You don't have any sharp edges. Everything's softened. This point's the only thing that kind of got to me, but other than that, there you go. So if you like it, does it for you, and you don't mind spending the money, I'd say go for it. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below. And I hope everybody's having an absolute wonderful day. I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.